Así que vamos a ir a la zona del ADN. Este es el ADN de la víctima, ¿vale? Tenemos que probar este, que veremos que no coincide. Por ejemplo, empezaríamos por aquí. No hay ninguno que sea azul, azul y amarillo. Así que vemos que no coincide. Vamos a probar con otro.
Hey, I can't speak for Marcel, but Floyd Collister is going to be all right, and he's ready to talk. Come over to PD when you've wrapped up the scene.
Bien, nos avisan de que este hombre ya está listo, así que vamos a hablar con él.
Mr. Collister, Wallace Biganowski was murdered in your club. He was found wearing your stage costume. Do you know why he would be dressed as your character, Marcel?
It's not a costume, and Marcel is not a character. I am Marcel. I would appreciate it if you would address me properly. I apologize. I meant no disrespect to your authority, but I felt you were demonstrating a disrespect for me, that's all. I understand you have a very difficult job to do. As for Wally, Wally spent nearly a lifetime in my shadow. For a time we were rivals, but eventually he assumed the role of my understudy in the cabaret show. He was quite good at becoming me, the voice, the manner, and as you are obviously aware, my health is deteriorating, and I wanted, if something untimely should happen to me, I wanted him to take over, to carry on as Marcel.
Is that why Mr. Biganowski had plastic surgery? To look more like you, just in case?
That was part of it, of course. I suspect there was also a bit of unhealthy idol worship on Wally's part, but I saw no reason to dissuade him from trying to improve himself.
This question just sounds weird in my head, but here goes. Marcel, why were you hiding in Mr. Biganowski's closet?
I was hiding from the murderer. Now, when you two showed up, I suppose the closet may have been a Freudian slip. Look, I'm not trying to be cute here. I had gone back to the club after we'd closed to get my heart medication, which I'd forgotten. When I walked in, I saw Wally lying there up on the stage. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I got scared, really scared. Certainly wasn't my finest hour, I will admit that. But if someone was trying to kill Marcel, then I needed to hide somewhere I wouldn't be found. I saw Wally lying there, yes. I saw those dreadful bruises on his wrists and his ankles. I saw the bottle of booze, and I knew. I know Wally doesn't drink. Well, not like that. The very fact of the matter is, over the years, I've received death threats. A considerable number of them, so many that I stopped taking them seriously. I figured I can't stop being who I really am. Better to die in heels anyway. But you know, maybe I should have taken those threats more seriously. I should have at least talked to Wally about them. That's what I should have done.
Why didn't you call the police?
Oh, honey, who gives a damn about an old No. I will not use that abominable word. It's not right. Let me just say, ma'am, that my experience with law enforcement over the years has not given me the greatest confidence that justice will be served for either me or my community.
I understand, Marcel, but times are changing.
Sure they are, but you think about how much they've really changed the next time you're walking down the street, just holding hands with your man. Then you try to imagine someone like me doing the same thing. Look, I was wrong, but I did what I did. I panicked and I ran away. I ran away to Wally's apartment and I hid there. I guess I was thinking something like the killer would realize his mistake and keep coming after me.
Marcel, for the time being, for your own safety, we're not going to disclose the fact that you're alive. That is, if that's all right with you.
No, but it wouldn't have been a bad idea. In fact, I didn't touch a drop of alcohol all night. Wally and I were very close. Oh.
Bien, cuando le hemos preguntado esto, él dice que está muy unido siempre, entonces le vamos a Se lo vamos a contradecir con la nota que encontramos en el despacho, en el camerino, vamos.
Seems like there was tension between the two of you after all.
Once Wally saw himself becoming me, well, he started to become unreasonable. It was still my club. He was the manager. And he did a superb job in that capacity. But I did not want to share everything with him. Well, he started threatening to leave. Oh, so much drama. But I know he would have straightened things out. We always did. For better or worse, in sickness and in health, until death do us part. For all our ups and downs, Wally and I never stopped being friends. I've been staying at his place for the last couple of months. I was there last night, waiting for him to come home. I don't think so, but no, wait. I was using his computer. I was chatting with a few old friends. Don't they call it IMing? Anyway, I can give you Wally's password. I'm sure if you take a look at the computer, you will be able to verify what I'm saying.
All right, Marcel. We'll do that.
Bien, nos da la contraseña del ordenador de Vieganowski, así que vamos a ir al apartamento y vamos a comprobar su coartada.
We'll bring Wally's computer back to the lab, and we should be able to confirm whether Marcel was online or not.
Y vamos a ir al laboratorio y vamos a comprobarlo en la zona de los vídeos, ¿vale? Donde podemos analizar los vídeos y los sonidos.
Well, if the clock on the wall is right, then Marcel was at Wally's apartment at the time of the murder.
Y vemos que no nos ha engañado, así que vamos a ir al interrogatorio y vamos a decirle que se puede marchar si quiere.
We looked at Wally's computer like you suggested, and we saw that you were indeed using it all evening.
I always was the innocent one. Oh, this killer on the loose, though, I don't know that I feel safe leaving just yet. I'm happy to help any way I can. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, some good news. We were able to dig up all the old Barber Street Boozer case files for you. They were buried down in Central Property. I had them sent over to the lab. Let me know if you find anything.
Bien, volvemos al laboratorio.
What's up, Ray? Ray?
Oh, sorry. Didn't hear you come in. I understand you may have a serial killer who's come out of retirement. I was curious. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. We could use your expertise, actually. Right now, we're just fishing. There's no evidence linking the previous Barber Street Boozer murders to the murder of Floyd Callister.
You mean Wallace Viganowski, don't you?
Actually, we're trying to keep that information on the need to know for the time being.
Okay, well, in looking through the old case files, we have 4 male victims, each one from a different race and socioeconomic background. Each was married. Now, the common thread that ties these men together is the desire to explore their homosexual tendencies through the apparent safety of a male presenting himself as a female. There were several, actually, which was part of the problem back in 1975. But here's something interesting for you. Out of the LVPD's top 4 suspects, 2 are now deceased, and the other 2 are going to be very familiar to you.
You're kidding. Floyd Callister and Wallace Viganowski. According to this police report, both of them had been arrested multiple times for solicitation as well as lewd and lascivious behavior in public.
Yes, there is. We have 10 cards for both Floyd Callister and Wallace Viganowski, and we have a bottle of unidentified alcohol.
If we were able to match brands of alcohol from yesterday and today, it might mean we're dealing with the same serial killer.
Or a copycat. I should get back. Riley thinks I'm picking up lunch. Give me a call if you need me.
Bien, como vemos, nos han dado el archivo, nos han dado huellas, ¿vale? Y nos han dado una prueba del licor que se usaba en el antiguo caso. Vamos a compararlo en la zona de químicos con el que hemos encontrado nuevo, para ver si coinciden. Y vemos que sí.
Serial killers are certainly creatures of habit, as well as ritual. The liquor used to poison the four men in 1975 was classic cork whiskey, which is the same brand that was used to kill Wallace Beganowski last night. I'm going to ask Brass to help us get in touch with the detectives who worked the original Barbara Street boozer murders. Maybe they can help us better contextualize some of this evidence.
Bien, vamos a hablar con el jefe, vamos a pedirle que hable con los investigadores del antiguo caso.
Detective Glenn Krotman and Maurice Briggs. Glenn died of prostate cancer 6 years ago, and Maurice just retired. I hear you had some input on her final case. She lives out in Boulder City. I'll get her number and have her come down. Hopefully, she might have held on to some of her original case notes.
Bien, vamos a hablar con la antigua detective.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come out here.
It's the least I can do. I thought you might try to get in touch with me. I saw the news. Floyd Collister, murdered in his own club. The news didn't give many details, but you think it might be the boozer, don't you?
Or the copycat. The MO is similar. Male victim forced to ingest a toxic level of distilled alcohol. Murder took place in the same neighborhood as well. The MO, as I said, is similar, but it's not exactly the same. This victim isn't married, nor was he someone who could be described as a closeted homosexual.
The one that got away. The most frustrating case I ever worked, and my biggest regret, for so many reasons. Glenn and I worked as hard as we could to close this case. But I have to tell you the truth. The department, at that time, did not consider the boozer the highest priority. That's right. It's shameful, but there it is. I can only imagine what we might have been able to do if some people's hearts and minds had been different back then. Fortunately, for whatever reason, the boozer decided to stop on his own. Glenn and I both believed the killer was most likely someone merely posing as a transvestite prostitute in order to lure his victims. But witness testimony kept pushing us toward a couple of actual prostitutes, one of whom was Mr. Collister, and the other was a young man named Wally Beganowski. And I believe later on, those two gentlemen opened up a rather popular nightclub together.
We've gone over the suspect file, but we're wondering if there's someone else we might be overlooking.
There was this one guy. I'd have to go through my notes here to recall his name exactly. I thought he was particularly interesting, but I'll admit it might have been feminine intuition or something ridiculous like that, because Glenn didn't agree with me, so I kept it out of our official reports.
What was intuition telling you about this guy?
As I can recall, and you should definitely go over my notes here, these are the originals. This fella had been charged with assaulting one of the victims maybe 4 months before the murders began. Let's see if I can remember the scenario for you. So this John comes down to the neighborhood looking for some love for sale. He ends up picking up a prostitute outside a club on Barber Street, and this prostitute is dressed like a lady. But before they could get down to doing their business, my suspect, whom I remember thought of himself as a kind of knight in shining armor, swoops down and beats this John up pretty good, defending the honor of this lady.
Suspect Gary Beaumont, arrested October 12th, 1975, assault. Victim Lon Muskie. Muskie was in the act of soliciting another male for the purpose of prostitution. Muskie released from police custody, not charged.
Let me get this straight. Gary attacks this guy Muskie, and a few weeks later, Muskie becomes one of the Barber Street boozer victims?
And then, 35 years later, you should discover our latest victim, but Gary Beaumont. Brass ran Gary Beaumont through the system, but he has no known address. Brass put out a bolo, but I'm hoping we can find Gary ourselves.
I'm sure it won't hurt to talk to Mr. Beaumont again. But I agree with Maurice's partner. He's not your man.
What makes you say that?
The Barber Street boozer obviously felt homicidal rage towards his victims. Married men who were secretly soliciting sex for male prostitutes dressed as women. Wallace Beganowski was an unmarried, openly gay female impersonator. Based on the circumstances surrounding Mr. Beaumont's assault charge, I'd say he was the kind of man who would have wanted to protect Wally, not hurt him and certainly not kill him.
Well, from what I saw of Mr. Beaumont's behavior at the crime scene and at the morgue, he would have to be a supremely talented actor. He was on an emotional roller coaster.
Maybe. For a serial killer, murder is an addiction. Recovery requires a lifelong commitment to some deliberate strategy of behavior modification. And unfortunately, there is no 12-step program for cold-blooded killing. So serial killers usually stop when they're caught or they die. In my professional opinion, if Gary Beaumont is a serial killer, it's difficult to believe that he just decided one day to stop cold turkey.
You're probably right, Ray, but I still think we should bring him in just in case. Cover all the bases. And if Beaumont's been such a loyal customer all these years, maybe Marcel knows where he likes to hang out when he's not at the cabaret.
Bien, pues vamos a ir al interrogatorio. Vamos a pedir que traigan a Marcel
I'll bring him right up to interrogation.
y vamos a preguntarle por el Gary Beaumont este.
Gary? You think Gary had something to do with this?
You just want to ask him a few more questions, that's all.
Gary's harmless. I mean, he's a pain in the ass because he's always just hanging around needing attention, but he couldn't really hurt anybody, I don't think. He gets thrown out of some places because he's awkward, a little strange. Sometimes he smells, but he's homeless. I wanted to help him, but I never really had the time, you know? I mean, I didn't bother him when I found him pretty much living in the alley behind the club.
Marcel, were you aware that back in 1975, Floyd Collister was on a list of suspects in the Barber Street murders?
Yes, Floyd used to get into a lot of trouble with the police. He was a hooker, he took drugs. But, like I said, that's not the real reason why the police thought he was a deviant. Anyway, that's all water under the bridge now, isn't that right? He cooperated fully, as I recall, answered all the questions. They let him go, and after that, I decided that Floyd should move on, and he did.
If I told you that out of the 4 male prostitutes that were identified as possible suspects back then, you're the only one left alive, what would you say to that?
Ma'am, you're wrong. They're all dead. I'm sorry, but I really have nothing more to say to you.
Bien, pues nos ha dicho que vive en el callejón de atrás del club, así que vamos a ir a verlo.
Hey, what's going on?
Classic cork, huh? Gary, for a homeless guy, you sure have expensive taste in booze.
Bien, para empezar vamos a mirar aquí en el contenedor. Y vamos a ver que hay varias botellas de Classic Cork. Lo vamos a recoger. Y el delantal que pone Marcel también lo vamos a recoger.
Could have been used to tie up our victim. Anyone can get in and out of the club through here.
Vamos a echarle un vistazo al saco de dormir.
Not exactly a 4-star hotel.
Vemos que aquí hay una nota, la vamos a recoger.
It's a love letter to Wally from Gary.
Y vamos a hablar con Gary.
Hand over the bottle, Gary.
Yeah, of course, here. Well, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that, huh?
Le hemos quitado la botella. Y vamos a volver al laboratorio.